Well, Halloween falls on a Thursday, so that works out.
Yeah.
But we should probably do it before, huh?
Yeah, we probably should do it before. What's next Thursday? That's not Halloween next Thursday.
I can't next Thursday.
You can't?
No. I got a work thing.
What about...
Maybe we could switch it to like a Wednesday or something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we'll switch it to Wednesday because I have a friend that will join us. He's a florist for a flower shop, real flowers. And yeah, he's the manager there, and I was gonna have him come on. We were talking the other day, and dude, I looked at my phone and like 2 hours went by, and I was like, "Do you want to do the podcast?" I was like, "We just talked for 2 hours, like nothing." I was like, "You can do it." He said he's done one a while ago, but I was like, "Yeah, I mean, we talked for 2 hours, and that was pretty seamless, so I'm pretty sure you could do an hour."
I just noticed that light is now pointing directly down on you.
Does it look fine? If it looks fine,
I have no idea.
I'm fine with it if it looks fine.
Let's see.
Yours, that one is too, kind of.
Oh, no. I mean, yours is directly down on you. I don't know.
I turned it a little bit.
Well, I guess that's what you are now. You're just lit up like that. I don't know. Maybe that's better to just be lit up from the top down. No, because you don't want shadows.
I'm getting two lights. I got lights back here. I think I'm pretty lit.
I'll adjust it later then.
Yeah, we can turn it later, but we'll just leave it like this for today.
Another fucking thing. I gotta figure out a different way to make that tighter, since it won't go tighter and it's like stripped.
It's so tight, it's tight.
Maybe if I put like some type of rubber in there, you know, before I tighten it, so it like gets tightened over the rubber.
Put some rubber clamps on the pole itself.
Yeah.
That'll give a better grip.
Right.
I think that's what they do. Yeah. Even like if there's a rubber tape, but any kind of rubber...
Just anything
sleeve.
For some kind of like friction.
Any kind of rubber sleeve that you can put over it will work. And that'll give it grip. Especially, it's got to be tight enough though, like around the pole.
Mm-hmm.
Like just any kind of rubber sleeve.
Oh shit! I just realized. There is a way for us to get some audio in our ears for the computer.
Oh, you have another way you could do it?
Because this thing has a second computer input.
So whatever you're looking up,
I can.
Yeah, that's how people do it. That's how they put the audio. They'll like play this clip. They're playing it off of the computer.
Yeah, a second audio input for it.
Yeah,
I think I can just connect it to Bluetooth too.
Yeah, that'd be even easier. But yeah, if you just have a channel for the laptop, that's how you can do it. That'd be easy.
Yeah.
And better too.
No, you know what? I'm not even going to do anything right now. We'll fuck with that next time because
I
don't want to fuck shit up again. And then just be like, it's all fucked.
You go down, it goes down a time warp where we're just fucking and adjusting.
I don't know when my fucking wallpaper on this computer turned into a bear.
California bear.
I don't know what's going on.
You're not allowed to kill bears in California.
No. Oh, no.
Either mountain lions, too. Mountain lions can come and eat your dog, and you can't do nothing.
You can't do nothing but call somebody.
Coyote. anything. You can't kill it. And if you call them, they still won't kill it. They'll just be like, huh, you should have brought your dogs in.
Yeah, that's the truth. It's sad.
It does kind of suck, though. I feel like you should be able to shoot at them. Can you do warning? You could do warning shots, I guess.
I guess, but also not a lot of people in California own a gun.
They made it. I heard they made it a little bit easier these days to get one when shit started getting crazy. But yeah, there's still a lot of people that don't have guns. But man, you see crazy stories and you're like, maybe I should have something.
I don't think I ever will.
I'm just gonna do hand-to-hand combat, dude. It's gonna be whatever I can grab. I mean, I always keep a bat next to me, next to the bed. And
you do?
Yeah.
You know, when I lived alone in an apartment, I would keep one of these lightsabers. That one that has like.
Does it have spikes on it or something? Like,
you see the tip of it, and it's got like little spikes and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would open it up and I'd hold it from the laser saber part. Yeah. And so like if I needed to hit something.
See, but I've played so many video games, like especially, you know, who's really good at it is zombie games. When you start killing zombies, you can kill them with whatever you're holding, but if it's not sturdy, it will start to break. And it'll have like a little meter letting you know this is going to break. So like that meter, that durability meter is low. You're only going to get like 1 or 2 whacks out of it, you know, like that's the only problem with it. But you can use it. It will hit. If you can get one good shot, you might be able to.
Well, you know, at least like defend myself enough to barricade or something.
You have to swing and run. Like, all right, I'm out. Like one good hit to the face, stun, and then,
I mean, that's why I always lived in an apartment on the 2nd story.
Yeah.
I just thought, like, in my mind, it's more of a hassle to break into a 2nd story than a 1st story.
I think first level for sure is susceptible because it's easy to just. But you got crazy people if they just think they can get your shit and you're not there or something.
Well, check this out. Like, I had some friends who moved into an apartment and they went to go start moving things in. They weren't living there just yet, I think, or they were living there. But what they found was they couldn't open the door to their laundry room. And so they had the maintenance guy come out to go open the door. And there was some dude living inside of their little laundry room area.
He had claimed it.
Yeah, pretty much. They had to kick him out.
They told management or whatever, and they.
Well, shit. I mean, like, it's pretty scary for you to just open the door and some random fucking unhoused man is sitting there.
Yeah.
Living his life. Being like, peeing and pissing everywhere, you know?
He's like, close the door.
That's what they said. They couldn't get the smell of fucking piss out because he defecated and peed, like, in that little closet room.
Yeah, actually, I had a friend that had a roommate who, the roommate they kind of like had a falling out, him and the roommate, and he kind of was down on his luck, so he didn't have a lot of money, so he was just kind of giving him whatever he could, like every month, but it wasn't the full rent anymore, and it was just like, he became like just barricaded in his room, like he wouldn't leave, and like, he became like stealth mode. Remember the dude from Grandma's Boy? And he's like,
yeah.
He was like
he
against
just
the wall.
Like turned into a frozen like thing.
He's like,
he was a chameleon or some shit.
How did you see me?
How did you do that?
Yeah. So he wouldn't come out of his room. He never saw him, but he knew he was still there. But they were in a silent war, you know, like roommate war. And he was just. He would use some of the dishes and stuff, so he knew he was still there, but he would not come out of the room. Like, he wouldn't even make a sound. Like, you wouldn't even know he was in there. He became like stealth.
It's like that movie, well, I guess not like stealthy or something, but that movie Parasite.
Yeah.
Did you remember seeing that one, the Korean one?
Yeah, where they're just living in the basement or whatever.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
that was fucking hilarious.
This was before Parasite. He was the original Parasite, dude. Like it was before that movie came out. And yeah, he was still getting orders from like Uber and stuff. He knew that. Like he could see like the trash and stuff like that. But he stopped taking showers too.
Yeah.
So that what made me, when you talked about smell, that's what made me think of that. Because yeah, dude, when he finally did leave, he left Steph in the night in stealth mode. So he just took his stuff, left the mattress, left the bed. He left actually a lot of things.
He was just gone.
But he stealthed out of there, dude. He didn't even make a sound. Like my friend was like, I didn't even know he left. Like he didn't hear anything, dude.
I knew he was gone because the smell had stopped lingering.
Dude, I went in their room and dude, it just smelled like sweat and just like dirtiness or whatever, like fucking armpit and shit.
Oh, that's so nasty.
Dude, and it was like in the walls or something, man. Luckily, one of the things he left was a shampooer. And he left it in the closet. It was just like an old shampooer, like it was it was so dry and it had like dust or dirt in it from like the last time it was used because he never used it. But we revived that thing, dude. He didn't even know how to use the carpet cleaner or whatever, so I just threw it in the tub and I just started like rinsing it and all this like, you know, carpet and shit, you know, whatever it picks up was like falling out of it. And we make sure I cleaned it all because if any of that gunk is stuck in there, it won't work. So I like shook it up and like put it all together and I showed him how to fill up the tank. And he actually left the carpet cleaner soap too. So I was like, you got to put a little cap of it and put the hot water and show him how to do it. And dude, he said he did the carpet like 4 or 5 times, dude. He just kept carpeting that fucking shit over and over again because it was so stinky. But it worked eventually. It was gone.
I mean, yeah, I've found that bristle solution is the best.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, I mean, they're all gonna work fine, but
yeah,
when it comes to you want something to really get rid of it, the best one on the market that I found is the bristle.
Yeah.
Bristle brand.
He uses it now for his office and stuff, so he likes it. But
Yeah, I use the bristle for like lots of things.
yeah, but it was just funny, dude, because I went in there, I was like, dude, when he asked me to help him take the mattress out too, and I put fucking gloves on and a mask, dude. I had like,
oh yeah,
I found my mask from paint, you know, the paint mask. I put one. It had the 2 like things on the side. I put one of those on. I put goggles on, dude. And I picked up that. We drugged that mattress out. It was funny, but yeah, dude, that was the worst smell. I've never smelled somebody like that just fucking
just that like fucking nasty.
Stop showering, dude. I've never seen someone just stop. I can't even imagine with that homeless guy too. I mean, but that was a little area though, at least.
There were certain people that I worked with once that like. You knew when they were walked by or something, you know, like it just did not, like you want to vomit. And I don't know if they never showered or some shit, but like it was just so bad.
There's some people, I don't want to say what kind, but there's some that don't believe in showering, or at least don't believe in showering very often.
Really?
And yeah, I've worked with some individuals that's like their kind of thing. They don't shower and shit and they don't care. That's just kind of where they came from and how they are as part of their kind of culture. And it's not cool because they stink, dude. Like no matter how much cologne or perfume or whatever they put on, dude, it's not going away. That shit's there to stay. It's like their musk. There's still people like that too, man.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot of people like, oh, you're not supposed to shower every day. You know that? Like it actually messes up your skin, messes up your hair follicles, and the
I think
oils.
really what it comes down to is you as a person. Like not everybody's the same, and not everybody's gonna like, you know, be the same amount of nastiness
Some
after
people,
one.
yeah.
Or waiting after 1 or 2 days without showering. Like me, I wash my hair every day because my hair gets super greasy if I don't. You
I
know,
have
now
to.
I wash it every other day, but like Crystal could go like a week without washing hers or something. You
A
know,
lot of girls do that. My wife does. She has to wash her hair every day. Dude, my dad though, I mean, growing up, he took a shower in the morning. He'd go to work, take a shower when he get home. If he did some shit that night and got dirty, he'd take a shower before he went to bed. Like he'd take 3 showers if he had to.
like I would prefer to do that, but then I just keep thinking about the water I'm wasting. So I tend to shower like once a day.
The water,
But I would
it's
rather
gotta
shower
be-
like twice or 3 times.
Dude, the water's minimal. I mean, a 5-minute shower. I mean, you're not in there that long, and it gives you a scrub and you get fresh. But yeah, that's the way I grew up.
Speaking of
so.
scrub, man, I found this new scrubber, like
Body
loofah.
scrubber.
Yeah.
And
So like I really didn't know all about different body scrubbers before. Okay.
yeah,
So like I guess the ones that you would find, you know, the puffs and stuff,
yeah,
like that's just plastic.
yeah.
It didn't really occur to me that, you know. But anyway, I guess it's just plastic. And the problem with this is like you have to replace it every so often because plastic holds bacteria and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then a lot of people are switching over to these silicone ones, right? And that's because silicone doesn't, it's not as porous, I think is the word. And it doesn't hold like bacteria. So you can go way longer
Yeah.
or it's easier to clean and all that.
Yeah, it lasts longer.
But I'm the kind of guy that likes the suds. And so you don't get as much suds. But,
No.
you know, and you don't really need to see suds to know you're clean yourself. It just, whatever.
You're
I like
used
the
to it.
suds.
Yeah,
I won't feel right if I don't get my suds. Plus, I also want something that scrapes me, you know, like scrubs me.
gets that dry old skin off you. Yeah, sometimes you need a scrub.
I want it to be scratchy and
Yeah.
rough. Like Crystal, she would use we used to use the Dove for Men scrubber because it had like 2 sides and it was more rough. And that one and the Axe. So we would find either of those and that's what we'd buy all the time.
What's that plant? You can grow a plant
A loofah.
and it makes a loofah.
It is loofah.
Yeah. What is that plant?
A loofah.
It's called loofah?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long does it take to...
Not long. Apparently that shit's like weeds and stuff and it grows out and then you just...
Because I seen a lady crack open the skin and I was like, oh, that looks exactly like what you see at the store.
Yeah. Because
It's
it is.
crazy. Like you think
That's where we got it from.
you think it has some kind of process. That's probably the
It's just
best.
natural loofah. Yes, that's probably the best.
Yeah.
And honestly, like you don't have to pay much for it because it's really cheap.
I'm gonna buy one of those plants now that I think about it. 'Cause I
And
remember
they
seeing that.
are like they grow like weeds apparently.
Fast. Yeah.
They grow fast. There's a lot of them. You would be switching it out as often as you want because, you know, and it's natural. So, you know,
You just make your own. Just
Right.
Put a string on it.
but I don't care for those either.
No, you don't like the way they feel.
No, there's something about it I just don't care for.
Yeah.
But whatever. So I need something that's like that plastic scrubber, right?
Yeah.
And so that's when I ended up finding the scrubber I'm using.
What is it, like hemp or something? Or what?
No, it is what is it? Oh, you know what? It was already there. Let me just look at it really quick. Anyway, so this scrubber, it is I don't want to get it wrong, so
You got it on Amazon?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Of
Oh,
course.
that's what it's called. A goshi.
a goshi.
A goshi.
Ooh.
It's Japanese, apparently.
Okay. All right.
And-
so far, I'm on board.
So this is what it's titled on Amazon. It's a exfoliating shower sponge. Rip resistant, rapid drying, exfoliating bath sponge for all skin types.
Yes.
Made in Japan. So the deal with this thing, though, is that it is kind of expensive. It's $16 on Amazon after a discount.
Okay.
I mean,
that's a lot for
for
a
one
loofah
scrubber
or something. Yeah.
But this thing is washable. So you can disinfect it ever so often. Like the company says, like they believe this product could last 10 years.
Okay. Then you're getting your money's worth.
So yeah, it's kind of like an investment on that, right?
Well, for the last 10 years, I mean,
Well, yeah, you get a lot.
ridiculous.
It's pretty good.
It makes it like 20 cents a year or something. I don't know, like whatever the heck.
So
Not
here's
20
the
not 20 cents,
description
but you know what I
of the sponge on their website. Let's see. Oh, there you are. So they sell two things. The popular thing is an exfoliating shower towel. Okay? With that same material, they have an exfoliating sponge. So you can go from washcloth to sponge, right? And I didn't even know they had a 2-pack option. Anyway, so here is the description.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is this made out of?
It is thin, tightly woven. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Thin, lightly woven breast milk that's dried and braided into a paper.
It's like super thin, but let me see if I can't find like they frequently ask me or something where they tell you everything about it. Oh, here we go.
Egyptian hair.
It is nylon.
Nylon, okay. Isn't nylon made from petroleum?
Oh, this is recycled nylon though, so
Okay.
I guess it's better.
It's a bunch of different fibers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's their little selling point on it. It's a signature 2-layer weave. It's a tightly woven fibers that create perfect lather while textured threads scrub away dead skin to reveal smooth, polished skin.
How would you describe it looks?
It looks like... So think about those more rectangly round sponges.
Okay.
It's that, but it's got what looks like a...
Is that a bunch of holes in it? Or?
No, it's very, very thin. Like the holes in it, like you can't really see much through it. Do you want to just see a picture of it?
Yeah. Do you put your hand in it or? Like,
No, it's just a sponge.
And is it like attached to a stick or like?
It's got a string
Just a
to
string.
hang it up.
And you just use it kind of square. It's a squarish, porous scrubber, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I'm just trying to find it, like, not.
And it's pretty scratchy. It doesn't feel like the silicone.
Oh, no, it is so scratchy. Like, the first time I used it on my back, which never sees the sun, by the way, like, you feel the difference between that on more raw, touch skin compared to, like, my arm that sees more sun than anything.
I'll use that sometimes. I'll use the one that my wife has. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a long, like sheet kind of one that you wrap it around your back and you go side to side.
Yeah, that's like a washcloth type, like bath towel.
And it's super freaking scratchy. And I'll use it on my back, and she says it looks all red.
So this one is probably the same, if not just as scratchy.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see the pictures of it opened because, like, all the pictures they showed in the package. Oh, here we go. That's what it looks like.
All right. It's got a cut. Is it a triangle cut in it? What is that triangle for? Oh, is it just showing you that?
It's doing. Oh yeah. It's just showing you a blown up view. I don't know if it's a good view for you or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I can zoom it in.
So which one do you have? The rectangle or the circle?
It's not a circle. It's
it's showing a circle.
Yeah, they're enlarging it so you could see the fibers closer.
But that corner of it's not.
No.
Okay.
It is just a.
It's
sponge.
pointing to it.
Right.
Okay. Because it almost looks like a cut, and I was like, huh.
No.
Okay, so it's like a tube-ish kind of rectangle-ish
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
Here's
Could
some-
you put your hand in it if you want to, or
No.
No, it has no
No.
opening.
No
So it's
opening
just
at all.
a thick, round. And that's in a bag.
That's out of a bag.
Oh, that's out of the bag?
That's the product.
So it just looks like a big sandbag, kind of.
But it's not really that big. But yes.
Okay. It's as big as this microphone.
Here's
man,
the
like
side
this, right?
view.
So you can grip it. It's kind of like a football size.
No.
Smaller
Well,
smaller
a
than
little
a
bit
football?
smaller than that, yeah.
Okay, but that kind of.
I mean, here's a lady's hand.
Oh, for dimensions. It's pretty small. It fits in your hand.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like water bottle size or something, like
Yeah, yeah.
can size.
It would be little in my hand, but
Yeah, it's super little. I think the towel is much larger, obviously, but I like this. I just put a little bit of soap, and I am scrubbing because it fits perfectly in my hand and wraps around me because that sponge is so spongy. Like it's not hard to squeeze at all.
does it expand fast?
Oh,
or is
yes,
it
it
slow?
does. It goes like, well,
Okay.
it goes more like
You can see it rising.
a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So it's spongy sponge.
Yeah.
Like
Because the
it's,
sponge is pretty slow. If you squeeze it, it's just like.
and I think the point of the sponge is to create the more suds.
Yeah.
So this thing is definitely way more sudsy than I think the regular one, but it definitely fucking exfoliates. I don't know if I've had it long enough to really know if it's can be rip resistant or something, and see how long it lasts. Because we just bought it like a couple weeks ago.
Well, it should be, right? If it can last 10 years.
If that's what they said on the
It
website.
should be fine for a while.
Yeah, they said it.
So what do you do to disinfect it? Do you put it like in a dishwasher or something, or what?
You can wash it by hand.
That's it. Just wash it by. But it's already getting. Isn't it so weird? Like someone's like, if we're clean when we get out of the shower, what do we wash our towels? Like.
Here's the frequently asked questions. Ordering, no. What is the towel made of? The exfoliating shower towel, which is the same material that's on the sponge. It's just woven into a sponge. Is made of 100% recycled nylon. We looked into all other materials, but they would quickly break down, lose their texture, and or deteriorate. The solution we came up with is a long-lasting fabric that holds its composition and coarse exfoliating texture over time.
Okay.
Someone said, how long does the Goshi exfoliating shower towel last? Goshi's signature 2-layer weave is built to last. We typically recommend replacing every 3 to 6 months, though we feel confident it can last for a year or more. By that time, however, you may want to replace it anyway. Choice is yours.
So I looked up what recycled nylon is made from, and it says recycled nylon is made from nylon waste, such as plastic scraps, fishing nets that have been broken down into chemical compounds and then recombined to create nylon sheets. The manufacturing process for recycled nylon fabric is similar to that of virgin nylon with the following steps. Heat the nylon sheet, weave it. Okay. So, I mean, the good environmental benefits is it's diverting waste. So recycled nylon diverts waste from the landfills, right? It's reducing resource use.
Right.
So producing recycled nylon uses fewer resources than virgin nylon, including water, energy, and fossil fuels. Reducing greenhouse emissions. Recycling nylon reduces greenhouse. Yeah. So it's petroleum. It is petroleum based plastic. But it's strong, it's versatile, it's resistant to chemical and wear and tear. So that's what they're talking about, the 10 years, yeah. So overall, it seems like it's pretty good. What happened? Is it not charging it? Did it die?
No, it's just that this thing, if that's on, there's not technically 65 watts of charging. And so, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's just going to slow charge it.
Should stay on.
Yeah. You see how because it had to readjust where it was sending. And now my laptop's just mad at me.
Yeah, we'll see how. What's the company
Of what?
that you purchased it from?
Goshi.
Goshi. And how you spell that?
Goshi.
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 So if you want your own little scrubbing dubber, go to Goshi.
Go to Goshi.
On Amazon or wherever you want.
Goshi.com. I don't know if that's the actual website, but
Yeah, they probably got a .com, right? Everybody's got a .com.
yeah, it is Goshi.com. But yeah, I found it on Amazon. I think it was worth the investment. And honestly, you can put this thing in the washer on like a delicate setting and disinfect it, you know?
Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking dishwasher.
Well, I mean, you could do that too, honestly.
Put in the disinfectant mode or whatever.
Sanitize, yeah.
Sanitize.
Let it steam itself clean.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, it'll survive.
It'll do a quick cycle.
I think it'll survive. How hot does like water get from a tap?
Pretty hot, but from what I read, it's heat resistant, it's tear resistant, it's everything, dude. It'll make
nylon should last.
Yeah, it sounds like that recycled nylon will make it through. That's why they chose it, like they said.
Yeah, because when it comes to like a sponge, man, you're putting the soaps on it. A small amount of recycled nylon can last for many years and be used to make many things. It could take between 20 and 200 years to decompose. Whoa. So this is a sponge that my grandchildren will be using.
You got to put in your will, dude. Be like, I bestow my Goshi scrubber to my third grandchild.
So they suggest replacing it for a year, but it can go longer. And so people have said the reviews, they wash it every like 3 months or so, you know, and then or sooner.
That freshens it up.
Yeah, just freshen it up, just so you're not like saving any bacteria on you and shit, I guess.
Yeah, all the I mean the situation that the scrubbers are in, it's humid, it's a lot of moisture, things can grow from that moisture,
right?
Especially if you're like back east. It's pretty dry here though, so we don't have to worry about mold as much, but back east they do for sure, and they got basements and stuff like that. Not a lot of basements out here, although I feel like there should be more because it's cooler underground. We should be building houses underground, dude.
Fuck yeah, man, they really should. I mean, they've known that.
Yeah,
but I guess there's some structural stability issues.
Yeah, we don't have earthquakes though, and they build a fucking subway in L.A.
Yeah, but when it rains and stuff, isn't it like become?
You can have drainage
issue.
Yeah, you can have drainage for that.
Don't like people's like basements flood.
Yeah, but there's ways to have drainage around the structure so it doesn't flood. I mean, that's what they use for, garages and stuff. When they build the garages in the basement, they have ways to have the drainage go a certain way. So I'm sure they can figure it out.
But I think it's different when it's like pressure.
Under pressure.
Because I've seen videos of basements collapsing.
That's not cool.
Or cracking in, because of the pressure of the soil and everything pushing against it, or trees growing around it and shit.
Did you ever see that story of that guy that built and dug like a whole tunnel under his house and built like amazing structure? Like he had...
Are you talking about Colin?
Colin?
Yeah.
That was the guy's name?
Colin Furs, the YouTuber?
No. This is like an Italian man or something. Like it's in another country.
Yeah, this guy is in another country. But he's not Italian, he's British. But he has built a secret tunnel under his kitchen that goes to his shed, that goes to his secret bunker that he made.
This guy built like stained glass and like he did all kinds of crazy shit underground that took years and years to build. I think he got in trouble, and I think they took his house or something.
They took his house?
I think so. Like,
then this is definitely not the guy.
Yeah, because I don't think he wasn't allowed to do all that. Like, he went deep underground. Like, see if you can find the guy. Like,
oh yeah, he went to his driveway too and created a car lift.
the guy you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is different.
It's a secret garage he created.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It's really cool, man. He makes a lot of cool ass fucking shit. You've probably seen his videos. He's a guy, he's like British and wears like a tie and a short sleeve collared shirt.
Yeah.
And he makes a bunch of different fucking crazy ass shit.
I wonder if he got inspired by this other guy that Okay, yeah, no, this is a different guy. Let me see if I can find him. I think
Was he an American? No, you said he was Italian.
No, it's something. It was in another country.
He lost his house, you said? I'm just going to put that in there. Who dis? Nope, not Colin.
I'm trying to find it.
Was it 7 years ago?
Yeah, it was a while ago. And it was like a house. It was just like a little house. You couldn't even tell that he like did anything to it, but you just like walk down these stairs and then like it winded and like.
No, I can't find anything.
This guy built a cathedral by himself? A former monk? You know, I'm getting all kinds of crazy like stories about people building their own. Yeah, I'll have to look for it, but it was really, really cool. Like, I wish I could remember the story, but it was like one of those ones that pop up like on YouTube or something, and I just went down some rabbit hole. But it was really cool. Like he had marble, like he had like tile, like he built an underground, and it kept going down, and it was every room was different. Like he was like an architect, dude. Like he built these steps, and then it just like it was big rooms too, like not huge, but I mean they were pretty big. He dug all the dirt out by himself. He would take the dirt out.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Slowly but surely, he just kept digging and digging and digging until he had all these different compartments, dude, like a freaking ant or something.
Fuck.
But we found underground cities and stuff like that, underground places where humans had lived before. So
oh yeah,
it's kind of interesting, but.
And there's still people who like renovate their houses and some shit, and they find secret fucking tunnels and whatnot.
This guy I did watch a video on. He was trying to build a pool underground in his basement, and the city inspector or somebody called the city or something saying that he was building something under his house, and because you have to get all that approved through the city and everything, what the structure is going to be. So like. He had an inspector come, but he had to make the pool look like a tennis court or something. So he put
he had to make the pool look like a tennis court.
It was square, so he put fake grass and he put a net and stuff. And he's like, "Look, I'm building an underground because you can't have an underground pool,
right?
Like they don't want you to do that. That's definitely like not cool." So like he had to make the square look like a tennis court. I remember, and he bought all this fake grass and like put it on the ground and like. Yeah, he showed the guy and he didn't ask any questions and everything. And then he's like, yes, it worked. And then he went back to building the pool.
Holy fucking shit, man.
Yeah, and then he finished it and it looked pretty cool. But yeah, it's like, man, why can't we just do our own? But I mean, I get there's like safety concerns and like building underground. Do you know what you're doing? Like, I get that. But
I don't think it's just that too. I think it also has to do with zoning, property rights, and also like environmental issues. Like if you digging into ground that isn't tested to be dug farther than this or something, like in Europe, in parts of Europe, when there was like the wars going on and shit, you can't dig far because like you might find mines and stuff still.
yeah, that could happen for sure. I mean, you don't know what you're digging into for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you could dig underneath and there could be like a fucking sewage line that goes right underneath your fucking house or some shit.
That would.
And then you
cool.
just dug into the sewage line. And what are you going to do? Reroute the city's sewage line so you can have a tunnel?
yeah, I'm diverting the sewage this way. I'm going to go ahead.
Or maybe like, I don't know, electrical or underground fiber.
There's definitely stuff could be under you don't know about. But
Mm-hmm.
also, if you find some crazy shit like dinosaur bones or something, they just automatically own it. You don't even own it.
Yeah.
They'll take it from you. They're like, oh, yeah, even though you found it on your property, it's historic or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
It's dependent on the laws where you are.
Yeah.
Because it's possible that you do get to keep it. Because I've seen stories of that.
Yeah, well, I seen where they take it from them too. So I guess it depends on where you live, but that would suck, dude. You're like, no, man, this is my T-Rex fucking skull.
See, all you're supposed to do is not be like, I found it in my backyard. You say, my grandma's had this in her attic for like decades. I didn't know. I thought it was a fake thing.
They still might want to take it.
No,
dude.
they can't take it at that point. At that point, it's
Hopefully.
like, oh, you found an antique.
Well, you don't know where it came from, so we have to take it.
She said she bought it at a flea market.
Does she have any documentation for it?
No, this was back in the 1800s.
Then we're gonna have to confiscate that, sir. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what they say about that.
Just be like the guy with the tennis court
I don't want
pool.
them to take anything. I don't think they should take anybody's stuff, dude. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. Like, I feel like you should be able to dig, if you want to dig, but maybe like not in a community, but maybe if you're out in the open, you're out in the desert or you're out in the forest or something, you should be able to there's no pipes or sewage or electrical or anything out there. You might dig into some water or something, maybe an aquifer. You might hit an aquifer, but other than that, that's how I don't know. They say those witching guys work, the water witches, where they, when they're looking for a well. Have you ever seen those guys?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
They hold like a stick or they hold metal.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it crosses, that's supposed to be where the water is. And then they start digging. That's how they used to, but they still use it apparently. I mean, they'll have like people that, will dig down. They'll just randomly dig a really deep hole and see if they hit water. But I don't know. There's still water witching that I guess goes on where they'll, like, if you're not finding a well, you can have them come and they're like, no, the water's right here. Because there should be water. There should be aquifers under a lot of the ground. There's just constant.
Where?
Everywhere. There's aquifers are like underground rivers that are flowing underneath us at all times. That's what that's why they worry about a lot of contamination. That's why they tell you not to like pour your motor oil and shit in your yard because it seeps down through the dirt and it goes into these aquifers. And some cities use aquifers as the water source. Like, depending on where you live, that's your water source. So it could just be groundwater. Not everybody has like tanks.
So that's what they mean when they say groundwater?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why there's always been wells. You see a well on a farm or something, they just dig down until they hit water. And then now you got a well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of aquifers running underneath the ground, different levels and stuff like that. My biology teacher, I remember he did land surveys. He had a side business as a land surveyor. So a company would hire him. Hey, can you come look at the land? We're going to build this. We want to see if it's livable or if it's okay to build on. You know, there's no contamination or something that they're going to run into. So he would dig. He would take samples of the dirt. He would take it back to his lab. He would tell them, this is what I'm finding. This is the kind of chemicals. You can clean it up. There's ways to clean up the area so you can make it livable to build homes and stuff like that. Maybe you have to take a certain amount of dirt off and then replace it. There's different ways to clean up the contamination or whatever. But yeah, he did land surveys, and he would talk about like you see the trucks sometimes, 18-wheelers, they flip over, you know, and they drop their shipment of it was in the news. This one truck flipped and crashed, and it had all this coffee creamer.
Creamer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the coffee creamer went all over the ground in the forest, and you're like, oh, that's coffee creamer. But no, that's not cool. It's all sugar. It's all these different chemicals and stuff like that are going to fuck up the ground. You know, like, it's not natural. There's all kinds of animals. They're going to lick that. Eventually it's going to be in the sun. It's going to change, you know, like it messes up the plants. The plants are not used to it. Like, there's a whole cleanup that they need to do. And then, so that he would say, this is what we need to do. You know, like, to clean this all up, we need to like spray it down, and you need to do this and that. Like, there was different ways for different kind of spills that you would try and clean it up. Because eventually, what are the chances of it going down into the soil? How deep is it going to go? Could it get to the aquifers that are down there, and that'll contaminate the groundwater? So now, say if a farmer is using that water, now he has all this fucking coffee creamer and sweet bullshit that's in the water, and now it's going to fuck up his plants if he sprays that water on his crops, you know, like. So yeah, there's a lot of like.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, that's why I'm still talking about it. Like, when I learned about this in biology, dude, I was like, this is awesome. Like, I would take this class over again just to learn more shit. Like, I liked biology class.
I don't know why I didn't know about this. I feel like this is something I should have knew about.
You're like, I feel like they should have talked about it more. Or like, got my attention about.
Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, we have underground aquifers. Like, that's kind of how Arizona survived.
So what I'm reading here is that these aquifers are rocks that hold the water from, just like you said, like, it comes through the ground and everything.
Yeah.
So like this one right here says, so like it'll rain on the dirt, right? And then water's stored underground in cracks and pores.
Goes down.
And then you have like a confinement layer between the aquifers of the flow and everything. And then, so they just drill through the rocks to get there.
Yep.
And I guess that makes a lot of sense, because like, how far down could a fucking like water travel, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you keep going down, you'll keep hitting more water or different aquifers. Like, there's farther ones down.
Is that why we don't go so much? Because our ground is too hard, right? That's the thing.
There's some yeah, you definitely have to have the right drill bits and stuff like that. Like, there's different ones for different kind of material you're gonna dig through. That was in that whole Armageddon. Remember that movie with not Ben Stiller, Bruce Willis, and they were using different bits, and if they went too fast and try to get through the rock, it'll break, and you know the engine will explode and stuff. There's too much pressure. Yeah, there's a lot of it's actually like a really like in-depth science to digging, but there's also like I don't know if they've ever drilled to the center or have gotten close. But there is more water surrounding our core in Earth than there is in the ocean, supposedly. I mean,
so it says that aquifers make up 1/3 of the world's water supply.
Yeah, and that's just aquifers, and they're supposed to
Or just the world's water.
drinkable water.
No, water.
Oh, all water.
That's what I said.
I thought there was more water around the core than there was in the ocean.
I guess that would make sense because it would be keeping it cool, right?
Yeah, it's molten lava. That's what that pressure and the steam. You have like Old Faithful, just bursting steam out of the ground and water, like the pressures.
Huh.
But yeah, dude, it's very, very interesting. I mean, this is how people had to survive. You know, if you're in an area that there's no creeks or rivers next to you, you could still survive by digging a well and finding water. And if you find a water source, you can live there.
Yeah.
So, and then you can use that water source on crops or whatever, livestock, whatever you have. Give your horse some water.
Give your horse some water.
Dude, I watched a video on how they built the Golden Gate Bridge. That was pretty crazy. I was like, holy shit,
especially
dude.
for the time and shit.
They had to like use dynamite and blow up the ground. And they just kept blowing up and going deeper and deeper into the rock. And then they built these cement columns in the rock. I was like, oh, that's how they did it. So then they surrounded the column with an outer column, took all the water out of it under the water, and then filled it with concrete all the way down to the ground. Like, dude, they were just pouring tons and tons of concrete, dude, under the water, dude. Like,
hell yeah, man.
I'm like, holy shit, that's how they built. Because I never knew how they built it. Oh.
And then also to make it a suspension bridge so that they, you know, didn't have to make, because it was impossible to make a traditional bridge.
Yeah.
In that sense that it was too big of
a gap.
Yeah. So a suspension bridge is why it worked. And then on top of that, it's not even a full suspension bridge, actually.
Yeah.
Because of the fort that's right there.
There's a fort?
You didn't know that?
What fort?
So there's this fort that is like a historical fucking landmark or some shit. So the guy who was designing the fucking bridge, he had to design it around this fort to not disturb it. So underneath the bridge is this fort,
like a historical landmark or something.
Let's see. Fort Point National Historic Site. So, Civil War era fortress tucked near the southern anchorage of the Golden Gate Bridge. Fort Point was originally slated to be removed in the original bridge plans. So they were going to be able to make the bridge and use up that land.
Yeah.
But they couldn't, so they had to create this whole thing around it.
Just to keep it intact.
Let's see.
And what's the fort called?
Fort Point.
Fort Point.
Let's see if we can't find a little bit on the bridge construction here.
Yeah, well, I don't even know how I came across this video, but I'm just sitting here watching the Golden Gate Bridge being built, and I'm like, holy shit, dude. It really is like marvels of technology, and you just don't see that many kind of structures being built nowadays. Like, we were like really engineering the shit out of ourselves, dude. Like building the Golden Gate Bridge and building all these crazy bridges and building the Hoover Dam. The Hoover Dam is supposed to be another.
That's a very fucking crazy one
for the time that they were in and everything that it took, all the resources. Like it's definitely one of those marvels too. And then they built a bridge that just sidetracks it. Now this is floating over like hundreds and hundreds of feet. That's even crazier. Have you drove across that bridge? I haven't even drove across it. The one that goes by the Hoover Dam, but you don't have to go to the Hoover Dam anymore. You just
No, I've only gone through the Hoover.
yeah, there's a bridge now that's you can take that sidetracks you from having to go through Hoover. That one looks crazy too. I guess that's the last one that I've seen that I was pretty like impressed. I am like an amateur, whatever you want to say, architectural marvels or something like that. I'll do like looking at buildings and bridges and crazy shit like that. What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I fucked up the history. I got it reversed. So originally they were supposed to remove that fort, right?
Yeah.
But the chief engineer, Joseph Strauss, recognized it had architectural value, and he created an arch to allow the Golden Gate Bridge to be built safely over it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah, but I said that, it became like historical landmark and they couldn't destroy it because they wanted to. But the truth is the guy found a way to not destroy it.
Oh, okay. Through engineering.
Because he felt that the historicness of the building.
Yeah, I mean, if they can preserve it, I think that's a good thing. But it is a crazy bridge to walk across because you can feel it moving. You don't feel it as much when you're driving across, but when you're walking, that shit is moving. You're holy shit. We walked across it, dude, and I was like,
I mean, they show it to you like moving in the fucking movies and shit, and people think, oh, it's dramatic, but
or it must be a windy day. No, it moves all the time. Like, it's always moving.
I always think that the Bay Bridge is very interesting. So that's the one that people don't talk about as much.
What's that one?
It's the one that bridges San Francisco and Oakland.
Is it a suspension bridge too? Or
it's a half suspension bridge. So it bridges both San Francisco and Oakland. So
that's
the San Francisco side, when it goes to Treasure Island, I think, is the island between it. That is a suspension bridge. But then the Oakland side is not a suspension bridge.
So they put two different bridges together.
Yeah. So the bridge has two sections of roughly equal length. The older western section is known as the Willie L. Brown Jr. Bridge, after former San Francisco mayor and California State Assembly Speaker Willie L. Brown. It connects downtown San Francisco to Yerba Linda Island.
Is that the same island that connects the Golden Gate Bridge, or is that a different island? So I know there's multiple.
It doesn't. Golden Gate goes to Angel Island.
Angel. That's why I said there's multiple islands that.
So this one's on the west side of that.
Okay.
So it's more inland. And it's an island right in between Oakland and San Francisco. So the original bridge went to that island from San Francisco.
Yeah.
And it was built let's see here. Okay, bridge has two sections. I was like, where did I go? So the western section is a double suspension bridge with two decks, which is what I think is interesting. So the Golden Gate has two lanes, right?
Yeah.
But the Bay Bridge, you go in on top of the bridge, just like the Golden Gate, only goes one way. And when you leave San Francisco, you actually go under it.
Yeah.
So it's like this. So I always thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that you're using now 3D space instead of making it wider.
You could make it the same width and have way more cars.
You have more lanes, so it's actually faster, it's more efficient. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. And So the toll bridge was conceived as early as the California Gold Rush days, with Emperor, quote unquote, Joshua Norton famously advocating for it. But construction did not begin until 1933. Designed by Charles H. Purcell and built by American Bridge Company, it opened on Thursday, November 12th, 1936, 6 months before the Golden Gate Bridge. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So originally, it carried cars, like just cars, automobiles, on the top deck. 2 lanes, right?
Okay.
And then on the lower deck, that's where trucks and like service vehicles and stuff like that, and buses, commuter trains.
All right. I thought you were going to say horses for a second.
No. And so, but after there was a key system, there was a privately owned company that provided mass transit in the cities of Oakland, Berkeley, Alameda, Emeryville, Piedmont, San Leandro, and all of this. And then it was sold. So once this got removed, there was a commuter train. And once the key system was bought out and whatever company lost ownership of it all, the rail service was converted to all road traffic. And so in 1963, traffic was reconfigured, one-way traffic on each deck. So it's comprised of 2 bridges. So that's a suspension bridge. That's the San Francisco side. A portion of the eastern section's upper deck collapsed. Oh, yeah. I remember this was a big thing during the earthquake. So the bridge collapsed in 1989.
Oh.
Yeah. So a portion of the eastern section's upper deck collapsed onto the lower deck, and the bridge was closed for a month. Reconstruction of the eastern section of the bridge as a causeway connected to self-anchored suspension bridge began in 2002. The new eastern section opened September 2nd, 2013, and reported a cost of over $6.5 billion. The original estimate of $250 million was for a seismic retrofit of the existing span. Unlike the western section... What?
Huh?
Oh, I thought you were signaling to me for something.
No. I don't know. My finger is itchy.
Oh, I don't know, man. I thought you were trying to say something like stop or some shit.
No more bridge talk, dude.
Stop the bridge talk, man.
They fucking
Stop
hate it.
Yeah.
What's the second bridge? That's what I want to know. Then maybe that's why my finger is itching, because I just want to know about this second bridge.
Let's see. It's not called Bay Bridge, I think.
Damn you, bridge information. Please let us information gods. Please bestow the information to us. Google. You think people will pray to Google? They'll have a church of Google, dude. You just bring your electronics in and then you jack in to your neck all the information. You think you're going to be able to just download information in the future? You just pop a USB.
I mean, I feel like, I don't know. No, there wouldn't be any need.
You just wirelessly.
You just connect it all the time to information.
But what if you just want to know? I just want to know about everything there is to know about, alignment, car alignment. Can I just download all that? That way I don't have to keep looking it up. I'll just have it in my memory.
I don't know. It's a good question, but I don't think so.
It'd be kind of interesting. I mean, they
definitely, but I don't know how, because people remember things or learn things differently. So it's not like there's like a specific single thing that can be done, like a singularity type.
But I think the brain stores or the whatever cells, because there was some company that was working on some kind of organic storage where they were finding that like the cells actually can hold like a lot of information, something like that, dude. And I'm like, well, that's kind of nuts. They want to use like some kind of organic like cells to save information on because it's like better. So they're gonna have like all these. It was better to use like some kind of brain type for a computer instead of hard drives and stuff like that. Apparently, I don't know. Whatever I was fucking watching. But that's what I was reading about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to like conceptualize that, but I don't know.
I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's just kind of weird.
All right. So originally, the Bay Bridge side, it looked like this structure. I don't know how well see it, but there we go. You see how it's structured differently?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a more traditional looking.
And what
bridge.
what do you call that kind of bridge?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to look up, man. But like my brain's not working that way right now. Let's see. And this site that I found this picture on is because they had to dismantle this one and make an earthquake-proof one, which is a nice new shiny suspension-looking one. But they used to have this one, which was not. It was a Lucis model. No, wait. Oh, wow. They had to go to a huge amount of like research and shit to properly, safely dismantle this entire bridge.
Okay. So just
Did you find it?
No, I looked up my brain thing.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, brain cells grown in a lab can be used to create computers. And this field is called organoid intelligence.
Organoid intelligence?
Yeah. Brain. So a hybrid computer that combines brain organoids, like droid, but oids, OIDS, organoids, I guess, right? That's right? Organoids. With electronic circuits to perform tasks like voice recognition, the brain organoids are grown from stem cells and placed on a chip with electrodes. The system is then connected to a machine learning computer, biocomputers. So there's these companies that are working on these stem cells that are just like artificially grown. And there is ethical concerns about brain organoids in computers and whether they can gain consciousness or feel pain. So if they start using human parts in computers or something like that, there's definitely some ethical concerns. A system that integrates brain cells into a hybrid machine can recognize voices. Researchers have built hybrid biocomputers. So they're like biocomputers, I guess you would call them. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know if we're ever going to see that in our lifetime.
Shit, we might, man. I don't know.
All right, so I figured it all out now.
Finally.
Yes, the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge is made up of two bridge segments, a skyway structure and single-anchored suspension bridge between Oakland and Yorba Buena Island, and a suspension span from the island to San Francisco. Connecting the two is the largest diameter bore tunnel in the world.
Okay. We got to the bottom of it. Yes. And that has been the bridges.
That's the bridges.
Northern California. Not the northernest California, but pretty north. How much more is there to California after San Francisco? Is it pretty big chunk?
Oh, yeah.
There's a different
Sacramento
amount. Is above it, right?
Sacramento, and then...
What's north of
see.
Sacramento?
Let me grab my maps.
Because California just goes on forever, dude.
It sure does.
Fucking doesn't stop.
It does not want to stop, and it won't stop.
Dude, they've always been talking about splitting them up into 3 different sections.
6.
6 now?
No, it was originally 6.
Was it originally 6?
Yeah.
I thought it was 3 different sections.
No, because I remember voting for it.
Oh shit! You guys voted for it?
Yeah, we had
Did
to
you
vote
say
for it.
yes?
I did.
Well, did it pass?
No.
Or- No, people
It's
didn't
one
want
state,
to.
man.
No, but you know they have like a 2050. We're gonna split it up or something. You know, you never know like how far ahead they approve these things. You know, like
All right. Now, the reason they did this is because that it's been asked to do it is because California is so huge and the population is so huge
yeah,
that places like Southern California and LA area and stuff, like the western side, they will generate so much more income and population and bullshit that it's hard to handle the sides of like Northern California and Central California where there's a lot of farmland.
yeah. It's a lot for one state.
Right. So it's hard to balance act all that. And so there's so many different diverse things in California, which is why in 2013 they wanted to
Split it up.
yeah. And so there was a
they have names?
vote and we voted and it lost.
Did they have names for like the sections?
Yes, actually. So the top half, let me see if I can get something with. Okay. The proposed states would have been named Jefferson, which is the top half. Under that, North California. Silicon Valley would be its own state.
Silicon Valley.
And then to the west, or to the east of that, would be Central California. And then under the Silicon Valley area is where we would get West California, and that would encompass the coastline of Hollywood and everything.
Is that like Bakersfield too?
It's going to be like right
skinny.
there. It would probably be between West and, no, maybe between Silicon. It'd be like right between Silicon Valley, Central California, and West California. And then finally,
Southern.
there would be South California.
So they would all have California in the name, or some of them would?
No, those were all the names. Jefferson, North California, Silicon Valley, Central California, West California, and South California.
It's a lot.
The state is too large and ungovernable, and therefore, the guy wanted to split California to produce 6 smaller and more efficient state governments.
Yeah, you could get more efficient for sure. If you just have your own section, you can make that way more efficient. I mean, that's probably a really good idea, but they just don't want to split it up. I mean, there's probably some
here's the
counter argument.
Yeah. So opponents argued that it would have been a waste of money and resources to split California and create these new governments. Critics also charged that this was a money and political power grab designed to separate California's higher income communities from lower income communities and to diminish the state's reliability as a predominantly Democratic party supporting blue state.
No, but we're not supposed to be making decisions based on political fucking motives. It should be on like what is best for this area and this territory and shit like that.
So that was the for cause was like, well, it would be better because if you think about it, like there's parts of California where the taxes wouldn't be just so high and the gas wouldn't be so high because
it's a rural area and it's farming or something.
And their government can be more in line for them and their way of life.
And it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I do get the other argument about the power and the money. There is a grab there for sure. And Hollywood, Malibu, you know, Beverly Hills, like all these places that are probably going to be part of West California are going to be the highest income people living there. So their taxes, I mean, they would just keep all that money instead of sharing it with all the other territories and stuff like that. So I mean, they're definitely going to have a lot more money than, you know, North California,
especially when you think about the population, right? Yeah. So
a lot more people living there too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there are just like tens of millions of people living in California.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, so the population difference here for those proposed states. So Jefferson, which by the way, it was based on historical state of Jefferson proposal. That, like, I guess happened some very, very long time ago. And it was proposed that it would span contiguous, mostly rural area of Southern Oregon and Northern California, where several attempts to separate from Oregon and California. It was like a middle between Oregon and California.
Yeah.
So they wanted to name it after that since it's up there. So that would have been a population of 949,409. Now, I'm just going to stop at thousands.
Yeah.
But 949,000 people. Right? That's just one.
Yeah.
North California would be 3.8 million. Silicon Valley, 6.8 million.
We're getting San Francisco in there.
Central California, 4.2 million.
Not as much.
West California, 11.5 million.
That's probably the most.
That's like the LA area.
Yeah.
South California, 10.8 million.
Ooh, that's close.
Yeah. But on the map of it all, South California is pretty large. And that encompasses, I believe, like San Diego and San Bernardino County, which is like the biggest county in California.
Yeah.
But here's the actual containments. All right. So this is an explanation of where these lines are and what counties are going to be included into each state or wanted to be. So the state of Jefferson would have been created from the far north part of California, bordering Oregon, consisting of 14 counties: Butte, Colusa, Del Norte, Glen, Humboldt, Lake, Laysan, Mendocino, Modoc, Plumas, Shasta, Siskiyou, Tehama, and Trinity. Unlike the historic state of Jefferson proposal, this new state would not include the territory of Oregon. Now, North California would have been south of Jefferson, spanning from the Pacific Ocean to Nevada. North California would have consisted of 13 counties, and these are Alameda, El Dorado, Marin, Napa, Nevada, Placer, Sacramento, Sierra, Solano, Sonoma, Sutter, Yolo, and Yuba. Silicon Valley would have spanned the coastline from San Francisco to Monterey. So that would be up here to down there, and just the coastline area. And that consisted of the 8 counties: Alameda, Contra Costa, Monterey, San Benito, San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara, and Santa Cruz. And then Central California, that would have been between Silicon Valley, which again is on the coast, and Nevada, right? I guess for you it would be Silicon Valley on the coast, and then Nevada.
Yeah.
All right. So that consists of 14 counties north of Los Angeles and south of Sacramento. So that's Alpine, Calaveras, Fresno, Inyo, Kern, Kings, Madera, Mariposa, Merced, Mono, San Joaquin, Stanislaus, Tular, and Tulum. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly or not,
So
but that's my best bet on that.
So you're doing all the counties.
Well, yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah,
We got
let's
only
finish
2
it.
more states.
Yeah.
So West California. So the state of West California would have been
Los Angeles
south
County.
of Silicon Valley, west of the current San Bernardino County, and it would have consisted of 4 counties: Los Angeles, San Luis Obispo, and Santa Barbara and Ventura. Okay. So that's like, over there. Coast through.
And where does it stop?
Western California.
Yeah.
It stops at the border of San Bernardino County.
San Bernardino. So everything south of that, that's all.
Yeah, because San Bernardino County would be part of South California.
Yeah.
So this would have been made of the southernmost part of the state, bordering Mexico and Arizona. It would have consisted of 5 counties: Imperial County, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, and San Diego. That's it. That's all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, 6 Californias at one time. There was a point in the history of California that if it split off, it was such a wealthy state compared to everywhere else that if it split off, and I think this was in the 90s, but if it split off, it would be and made its own country, all of California.
Yeah.
It would have been the 3rd richest country in the world.
I think it still is.
Still is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now California is definitely for sure bringing in the dough.
Which is why it's so expensive there, and it sucks for a lot of people, especially in some of these more rural areas, because it is hard to govern. So breaking it up into 6 states, I think, would have been beneficial. Yeah, and there's definitely political views because, the farmer people are way different than the city people in terms of where they fall and what they need from their government and stuff.
Yeah.
So I get it, but, yeah.
I don't know all the nuances for sure. The counties and this, and they're getting the X amount of dollars, and if that's taken away, what do they have left? Are they able to make it up and still manage their county? I don't know. I guess you have to really do an in-depth look at each county and what they would need, and maybe there had to be some kind of agreement that West California still gives money to North, and
Right.
The only one that all the names that you name make sense, except for Jefferson. I don't know where the hell that came from. That's the only weird one out of all.
I think
of them.
it's because it's a historical area.
Did he live there?
Was once. Well, it's because
was he born there or something?
I don't think it was specifically Jefferson.
Not the president.
Yeah,
Jefferson?
they had a weird fucking flag too. The Great Seal of the State of Jefferson, because they had to propose a flag, and it had like 2 X's on it.
That would have been weird.
It's so weird. All right, so let's see. The state of Jefferson is a proposed U.S. state that would have spanned contiguous, mostly rural area of southern Oregon and northern California, where several attempts to separate from Oregon and California respectively have taken place. The region encompasses most of northern California's land, but does not include San Francisco or other Bay Area counties, and for the majority of Northern California's population. So let's see why they wanted to name it that. 19th century. So in 1851, gold was discovered in Klamath River Basin of northwest California, which extended California's gold rush further north to the basin and into the Rogue River Valley of southern Oregon. This led to the first large influx of white settlers in the area, causing conflict with local native populations that eventually culminated into the Rogue River War. And that was from 1855 to 1856. So with more American settlers coming in and conflict, let's see, where does it get to that part? So the influx of American settlers, coupled with the wealth they were able to accumulate from natural resources of the region, spurred several political movements that wanted to separate this specific region, right?
Okay.
Specifically because of the large wealth it was becoming. So they wanted to separate that region from the rest of California and Oregon because it would have been politically beneficial for wealthier people.
They should have.
Who knows what we'd be today. So in the 1850s, local politicians proposed an independent state of Shasta to the California legislation in 1852, but the bill died in committee. The state of Shasta was revived again in 1855, and various other configurations of an independent state in the same region as the state of Jefferson were proposed throughout the decade, such as the state of Klamath, which is an Oregon area.
Yeah.
So actually, settlers of the region believed that they were distinct from the rest of California and Oregon, both culturally and economically, and that because of the large distance separating them from the capitals of California and Oregon, their needs would be better addressed at the local and federal levels, right? So by their own state government, yeah. So in 1860, Congress passed legislation that would allow the region to vote on whether they wanted to be an independent from California and Oregon. So they were allowing them to become a state on their own. But the Civil War. So the Civil War interrupted that process and quelted the independence movement for the rest of the 19th century.
Let's stop that. So why the hell did they want to name it Jefferson?
Oh, that's a good point. I just thought that was so interesting there. Let's see. Although it is assumed that the proposal state name is after Thomas Jefferson, who sponsored the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Here we go.
The name Jefferson has uncertain origins.
Wow, son of a bitch.
Historians and locals cite Thomas Jefferson's statue as the primary author of the Declaration of Independence as the origin of the name, with the line "governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent and of the governed," as evidence of a breakdown of social contract between the state governments and the region's population.
So kind of like they wanted to name it Jefferson because that's what they believed in. Some of the ideas and stuff Thomas Jefferson had. And they put a statue up of him. So they just like Jefferson, like the name of Jefferson.
Yeah, they just like that.
That's what
so it's
like.
kind of him, but it's not.
Yeah.
Which I guess is interesting.
It is because of all the names, why I picked that one. But yeah, I guess if they're.
But I mean, that's what the locals say.
If they're taking it back to the Constitution, that makes sense. I mean, all right. I think we got to the bottom of that.
But what's so interesting here is the proposed flag and seal
was a dog. Oh, the two X's. That's
weird. It's so interesting looking. It's green. That's the whole flag.
The great seal of the state of Jefferson.
With the two X's in there. Right. I don't know what the X's signified. But that is the ugliest looking flag I have ever seen.
The green, the yellow,
the green,
X's.
The yellow, the X's, the seal. Like, you just, what?
Yeah, it's weird.
I wonder if they have something about why the X's.
No, we don't need to know.
I just want to know. Oh, yeah, the flag is, it's a very short one. The field of the flag is green, and the charge is the seal of the state of Jefferson, a yellow circle representing a gold mining pan. With the words "the great seal of the state of Jefferson" engraved into the lip, and two capital black X's askew from each other. The X's are known as the double cross and signify the two regions' sense of abandonment by their central state governments in both Southern Oregon and Northern California. The gold pan that was ostensibly the first model for the state seal is on display at the Siskiyou County Museum in Eureka, California.
Well, I'm gonna have to go visit Eureka, California. I would like to go up to the farthest northern part of California. I've never been all the way up there.
I've never been all the way up there too either. The farthest north I've ever been has been San Francisco. No, Oakland. I think Oakland's north, more north.
North of that. Yeah, I've been to Oakland too. But I always wanted to go to Oakland A's game, but they're gone now. So what the fuck? They got rid of that stadium. They're not gonna play there no more.
I kind of like the flag a little bit more now.
Now that you know the details of
I
it,
still don't like the green in the back.
they would have to.
They
update
probably
those
done
colors.
that because of the green up there. You
They
know,
could pick a different green.
I know, and I'm not too like happy with the pan color, but I guess it's yellow. But it does not look like a pan.
They were
It
going.
just looks like circles with a circle, and then of course the X's. They look ugly. The whole thing looks ugly, but I get it. They wanted to put the two X's to state like.
I think
These two guys, they fucking abandoned us.
I think it would be a cool copper color, like a pan,
Copper would have been better, maybe.
with
yeah.
some green in it, maybe.
But I guess like the idea is it's supposed to be gold, right?
That's what I'm saying. They use those copper pans or those plates to get the gold or whatever,
Yeah, but they
Right.
want to signify that they got gold.
and that's where
That's why it's gold.
that's what the lining and
Yeah.
the words would be is gold, and you leave that gold, and then it would look like a
So you just want the middle to be copper.
yeah.
Oh, just to give it some distinctness.
yeah to the background. But,
Okay.
Yeah, I could redesign it for them once they become a state.
There have been a lot of proposed states, actually. So that's pretty interesting. I didn't know there was so many.
Yeah, like I said, the one that I had heard about was the 3 one where they split it into 3. I didn't know about the 6 one. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, I thought there was like a 3-level one, like a southern, a middle, and then a northern. They were gonna separate it into 3 sections. That might have been easier than that whole thing, the 6-state thing, which is crazy. But or even half if they just went right down the middle and cut like Hollywood and LA in half or something. You get this half, that might still work too. Because then at least you have a northern and a southern.
I feel like yes, but it doesn't solve the economic problem for the majority of California because the influx of billions of dollars is still coming in through Silicon Valley and the Hollywood, San Diego, Southern
That's
California.
what I'm saying. You try to split it right across Hollywood and LA, maybe it would balance a little bit better. I don't know the structure of that.
I don't know because I still feel like what's changing now. It's just half.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if they split it down the center,
That's not up and down.
like vertically, yeah,
Then you have east and west,
right.
California. But I feel like the coastline would probably be way more valuable than the inland. So
Yeah, most definitely. But the people inland, those are the ones who suffer the most from it.
yeah, that would suck. I would not live in inland. I would live on the west.
I mean, it's way more expensive to go west, though.
It's just too expensive, man. They got to figure that shit out. It's just crazy.
I mean,
dude.
they did, but they didn't want it.
That's a big swing. That's probably ideally what it should be.
It's not even like, so there's so many different proposed states in different areas of the country and everything.
Yeah.
But California does seem to have a lot. There was even the California National Party, which is a progressive and successionist political party in the United States. They operated within California and they support Californian nationalism.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
I think
so
we got it. I
just
think
so
we
much.
got the title now for this episode. It's California.
It's California, 6
Yeah.
states.
And
The
aquifers.
YesCalifornia.org is a California political action committee that promotes,
Check it out.
the state of California from the United States.
That works,
They
right?
actually just want to pull California off and make it a country.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, when California succeeding from the actual United States and being its own country, yeah, that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother episode.
I know. You know what's interesting though? Like totally unrelated to state splitting, but just about states coming into the U.S. Wyoming.
What about it?
Wyoming is a vast majority of nothing.
Yeah, it's a lot of forest, right?
There's so much nothing that when they proposed to be a state, they'd never qualified because they didn't have the right population.
Yeah.
So they lied.
Yeah.
They increased their population number on paper to become a state.
Yeah. Well, I think they're getting pretty influx of people too now. I think they are actually.
So the thing with it though is that in order for it to become a state, it has to have a certain population to land ratio, right?
Yeah, the square footage. Or
yeah.
whatever.
And so it can never get that high because there's so much of Wyoming.
It's huge.
So let's see. Wyoming's statehood was controversial because the state's low population and constitution's allowance of women's suffrage. However, Wyoming became the first state to grant women the right to vote, and it was also the first state to elect a woman governor. I didn't know that.
There you go. We needed Wyoming.
Yeah.
After all. Thank you, Wyoming.
Yeah. Statehood was attractive to the territory. Let's see.
Damn Wyoming.
I know. It was a friend who was telling me about it. She grew up there.
Wow.
And
I don't know a lot of people from Wyoming. I don't know any, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know why I said any. I mean, a lot. But yeah, man, I think we fucking did it. I think we got it. We got it in the bag. Where do we at?
An hour and a half.
Okay, we did it. We did it. We're just going down rabbit holes now.
I mean, we pretty much are. Like, I'm going through a whole history thing.
I think we're good, man. We fucking did it, dude. That's it, man.
Yeah, so Wyoming was admitted as a state in 1890 and it had a population of 62,000. Alaska had a population of 224,000.
Yeah, those people are crazy too. Psychopaths. Living in the fucking coldest place they can live in.
Yeah, and it was like a close call between them saying, did Wyoming even have enough people to become a state?
Yeah.
And it barely made it.
Well, I'm pretty sure they use it for some. I've heard about shit that they put in Wyoming. Like, we got like military bases and shit like that. So I'm pretty sure they're using it for something. That's probably why they wanted it to be a state. But
it's beautiful, apparently. I want to go visit.
Yeah, isn't that Yellowstone? Is that what they base it on? Wyoming? Right?
I thought Yellowstone is based in
Dakota or what? Idaho? Those always get me North and South Dakota. Like, do we need two Dakotas?
Montana.
Oh, it's a Montana.
Yeah.
Now,
the majority of the show is filmed in the state as well.
Okay, that's Montana. Montana. And Wyoming's next to Montana? Is that how it works?
Let's see. Where the fuck is Wyoming on the map?
I'm trying to place them in my map on my brain, and I can't.
Wyoming. Yeah, Montana is north of Wyoming.
So Wyoming is under it, and then what's under Wyoming?
Oklahoma? Colorado and Utah.
Oh, Colorado, Utah, and then Arizona?
Yeah, and underneath Utah and Colorado is Arizona and New Mexico.
Yeah.
Respectively.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
Oh, you know what? The whole thing started here because you wanted to know different major cities north of Sacramento.
Yeah, I just wanted to know a city, just one name.
One name.
I didn't know.
Just one city.
Just one name. Just give me one.
Reading.
Reading.
Mm-hmm. The city of Reading.
What has the museum though? Didn't we say a different city though? It was like I forgot. Eckel or something, or
Eckel.
one of the cities north.
Eureka. Shasta.
Eureka.
Eureka.
That's, I think, what it was. You said there was a museum there, and you could still see the original flag or whatever. Blah blah blah.
I think so. Let's see.
That sounds like it.
Ooh, Eureka.
Or you said something up there, but it was. I just wanted to know, like, those northern.
It's so interesting looking. Doesn't look anything like anything I've seen. It's close to like San Francisco style Victorian like housing and stuff that I'm looking at.
So like
on these pictures,
1800s, early 1900s.
But then it's also not.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. We've had houses there forever.
Oh, okay, that's why. It has elaborate Victorian houses in the Old Town district, so that's why there's like so many like crazy looking. Like, look at this fucking mansion house. It's Victorian style.
Just Airbnb it, dude.
Look at that.
Whoa. Oh, it changed.
Oh,
but yeah, I got it.
You got it. You got it. All right. Anyway, we're at an hour and 40 now. So, introductions. Welcome to Digital Cortex. This is ThicccWick. That's Randomstylez. And, thank you for stopping by Digital Cortex. I've been ThicccWick. He's been Randomstylez. And we will see you later.
Later. Freeze frame.